world over, in different countries, in different continents, in different time zones, wherever you are. We extend you a very, very warm welcome on Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny day in India, and it is 2 minutes past 3 o'clock. And we extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers, sisters, and everybody from the ASEAN region while sending our best wishes, warmth, and greetings. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 358th webinar, Making Education Relevant, India ASEAN Joint Series. And of course, we always make a humble request from our side. If there could be a passing remarks, or if there could be a special focus, or maybe something related to northeast part of India, which Honorable Prime Minister of India always quotes as a Ashtalakshmi. This evening, we have been joined by the President of the ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, that is Professor Pornthep Sri Narula ji from Thailand, Bangkok. We have also been joined by Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji, the Co-Chairman, ASEAN-India Business Council from Malaysia, from Kuala Lumpur. Mr. Sandeep Majumdar ji, the President, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Cambodia. And we have also been joined over here by two of the distinguished guests this evening with us. Honorable Mr. KP Singh ji, the CEO and Managing Director, Walham International, that is in Vietnam. And those of us who wish to understand the Vietnam, and when you look at the whole map of Vietnam, he's more towards south near Ho Chi Minh City. We have also been joined, another very distinguished guest with us, Mr. Churukanti Kiranji. He is the Managing Director, Star 5 Developer or Star S Developers from Cambodia, from Phnom Penh. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful country, it's a wonderful people, wonderful place, and we should always remember Angkor Wat. That is something what we talk about, a beautiful place in Cambodia. So while extending a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, let me move in the journey. On behalf of International Chamber for Service Industry, which is basically the confluence of non-resident Indians, corporate and government interface. Now at present, there are 30 million plus non-resident Indians abroad. And I wish to share with everyone that immediately after this today, 5 p.m., you have a program on micro, small, medium enterprise. And 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, today is one of the historic events, which I wish to share with all of you. When Narendra Modi ji took over as the Honorable Prime Minister of India, and he went for the first time to United States. And the gentleman who basically played the entire music symphony based on Indian classical, Indian instruments. And when you talk about music as a node to your ears in education, in skills, in competencies, and for art, craft, heritage, this evening at 8 p.m. from United States, we are going to have a live program for 1 hour, coming all the way from the person who basically played that music for Mr. Narendra Modi during his first visit after taking over as the Prime Minister. So 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time today, don't forget to join us. It's going to be a historic event from the world over. People are joining us, and we extend a very warm welcome to our ASEAN brothers, sisters also to join us today. So ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about making education relevant, our chamber from morning 9 o'clock till evening, we have got whole day programs. Like today also, we started at 9:30. And after this also, we have got programs, and we have done 2 more programs since morning. So we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Here is the complete canvas so that we all understand what exactly we are doing, how we are proceeding, and what all takes place from the chamber. We are coming live on the YouTube because no linkage or no linking or password, because people face a lot of difficulty with age factor, you know, when you are not too friendly with the gadgets. But well, we all learn by and by, and everybody is a student. I am also a student. I also learn from all of us and each one of you. So I wish to share the entire world and the entire universe rests on three words: making education relevant. And when we talk about it, whether you are engineer, you are in real estate, you are in finance, you are in tourism, you are in hospitality, you are in airlines, you are in pharma, you are in medical, you are a political leader, you are a bureaucrat, everything originates with the quality of education, kind of education. And today, during the pandemic, there are two challenges. One is the health, and second is education. 1.86 billion children being away from schools, colleges, universities, and institutions. That part we all have to understand. So, our chamber, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, we have got teachers and youth empowerment. Friday, we take you to Singapore to Mr. Anil Manocha ji, and he's packaging the entire water management strategies for all of us. Every drop of water is to be saved. Saturday, we take you with Sudeep Majumdar ji, Swami Vivekananda's journey. Yesterday, he brought such a wonderful speaker, and people were floored and they were gaga throughout India and world over. Those joined yesterday because that was the ethos and philosophy, what exactly Swami Vivekananda ji conveyed for the youth, for the education, and for human empowerment. So my deep regards to Sudeep Majumdar ji. It was wonderful yesterday. Then comes micro, small, and the medium enterprise. Our chairman for this particular sector, when we talk about MSME sector, he is the former CMD of the NSIC, and he is the one who is bringing all the government policies together. And I wish to share with all teachers, principals, educators, counselors, and all schools, colleges, institutions, anybody looking forward to, I repeat, anybody looking forward to a complementary incubation center to be set up, Mr. Rabindranath ji is giving the complete inputs on that, how the government of India is now empowering whether government colleges or private colleges, whether government schools or private schools. If you want to have an incubation center in your premises, then it is Rabindranath ji. We are working out the entire strategy, and our chamber with Rabindranath ji is empowering every education hub. Thereby, our entire focus is on education empowerment. Then comes Saturday. There is a special program on yoga, meditation, naturopathy, Ayurveda, whatsoever we talk about, nutrition, organic. So every Saturday in the evening at 6:30 p.m. Yesterday there was a request from Canada, UK, USA, and Latin America, which we got, that a lot of people have difficulties when they go to religious places and they want to sit down, and their legs, they give them lots of problem because of age and because of cold weather. And after doing their prayers, when they want to get up, they have got a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties. So yesterday we started a series, different kind of arthritis, which we get in our body, whether rheumatic arthritis or ortho, and couple of other things which he started. So what are the natural remedies of Ayurveda? So don't forget to join us. Next 4 Saturdays, 6:30 p.m. It is going to be on rheumatic arthritis of different kinds, and how can you cure yourself in a natural way with your food, with your ingredients, and whatsoever is in your kitchen and in your home, just changing your lifestyle, you can cure yourself. That's what we are going to discuss for next 3 Saturdays. Then comes Sunday morning, 9:30 to 11, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and India's principal Upanishad. And then on Sunday evening, this is one of the most outstanding program, 10 beautiful countries, 650 million plus population, and fastest growing economy, lot of harmony, and wonderful what they are doing. That is ASEAN region, what we also call it Southeast Asia. So now this is the program going on. And after this at 5 p.m., you have got MSME program today on Sunday. And then at 8 p.m. today, you have got New Education Policy 2020 and how art and music can be the integral part of school as well as higher education will come live to you from United States today at 8 p.m. उसी के साथ हमको बहुत सारी रिक्वेस्ट आई approximately 400 million plus youth, teachers, counselors, educators, and they told all your programs are in English. Why don't you have a program for us in Hindi also? Particularly those are coming from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, and a couple of other places. So ladies and gentlemen, you would be happy to know that for the last 2 weeks, we have got a special program in Hindi at 12:30 every day, and that is what does today's youth want? आज की युवा पीढ़ी क्या चाहती है? इसके ऊपर हिंदी के अंदर कार्यक्रम रोजाना दोपहर को 12:30 बजे से लेकर 1:30 बजे तक. That's a special program. And then of course there's another program at 3 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. Now this is what I was talking for the water management, what we have got the entire program. This is the micro, small, and the medium enterprise, which we bring it. Today, we are going to talk this evening at 5 p.m. on funding options for micro, small, and the medium enterprise. And this is coming with Dr. Kanix tonight from the United States. And he is going to talk about arts appreciation and music in education, the entire pedagogy, andragogy, and whatsoever you want to talk about, that is coming today. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together, making education relevant. Now, on behalf of our President of the Chamber, Professor Pornthep, Sri Narula ji, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Our President is based out of Bangkok in Thailand, and he is having his own hospitality establishment at present, which he is taking care of. And besides that, of course, he has got a couple of other ventures, interests, but at heart, he is a professor, he's a motivational speaker, and he's basically having youth empowerment, various programs from time to time. Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji, Chairman of the ASEAN-India Business Council, Malaysia. He is the co-chairman of the ASEAN-India Business Council. He is currently a council member of the Malaysian Associated Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that is since 2013. He is also the member of the Malaysian National Committee for Pacific Economic Cooperation. He is the chairman of the Goldtex group of companies founded in 1973, specializing in import and export of garments and textiles, as well as manufacturing of home furnishing. We have got a very distinguished guest from Vietnam today. It's a beautiful country. In lifetime, at least everybody should visit once, go and see it for yourself. What a beautiful country, very nice people, very hospitable people, and worth visiting. So we extend a very warm welcome to Sri K.P. Singh ji, the CEO and Managing Director, Walham International this evening. He has got 30 years of experience in the field of real estate, power generation, out of which K.P. Singh ji has spent over 20 years actively developing and managing real estate assets in Vietnam. Prior to moving to Vietnam, his overseas posting included Singapore, Hong Kong, Myanmar, and India, where he worked on a number of commercial, residential, and industrial developments. Currently, his primary focus is in investment consultancy, investment and business development, project development consultancy, project marketing, project management, sales and leasing, management of commercial and residential and mixed-use properties. We extend a very warm welcome to Mr. K.P. Singh ji this evening. We have also been joined this evening by Mr. Churukanti Kiranji, Managing Director, Star 5 Developers from Cambodia. He is a young and a dynamic entrepreneur with a vision towards a sustainable international business. He is hardworking by nature and dedicated towards achieving success. He is good at implementing the technology integrated with other business in general. executing various projects in Cambodia in the field of real estate and attracting customers from most Asian countries from 2003, 2005, real estate agent London 2006 to 2015, then the real estate property development in South India, that is 2015 to 2020. So 20 is still going on. Real estate in Cambodia emerging into plantation and real estate related businesses. We extend a very hearty welcome to Mr. Chirukanti Kiranji this evening. We extend a very warm welcome to Sandeep Majumdarji, President of the Indian Chamber of Commerce, Cambodia. He is the person who is packaging this entire program at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time every Sunday for all of us, those are enjoying the deliberations between India and ASEAN together, what all can be done. He is the Chairman and Managing Director of Curewell International. He is polite and sophisticated, and he has an unmatched business sense with strong conviction in ethics and relationships. Business expansion has a meaning for him only if it is accompanied with value and betterment for his people. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming and extending a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests and dignitaries this evening. And I request our President of the Chamber to give his opening remarks and share his vision with all of us this evening from ASEAN, and that is from Thailand, Bangkok. And everything is fine, sir. Your mic is okay. Everything is okay. You can go ahead.
Testing. Are you?
Yes. Yes. Everything is fine. Please go ahead.
Okay. I'm very pleased and honored to be associated with Dr. Gulshan Sharma, ICSI, since the year 2000. It's now 20 years. ICSI, let me share my experience with ICSI and Dr. Gulshan Sharma. ICSI was established in 1994. My association was from 2000. This is how I look at ICSI. ICSI is into three major verticals. Number one, ICSI is a link between government and private sector, because any nation to be successful, any corporation to be able to drive forward successfully, there must be a fine integration between government and private. This is what ICSI vertical. Now the second one is the connection between India and NRI, 30 million around the world. That's also from my heart. I like to stay connected with our brothers, sisters, friends, NRI around the world. The third vertical is ICSI tap into ASEAN, which is the region to connect with the India Northeast, the area very much forgotten by India itself, the Northeast, and India all along has been looking at the West. So ICSI was among the pioneers to look at the East, ASEAN, and to connect ASEAN and the Northeast. And ICSI was the pioneer to connect with NRI before government initiative with the Prabasi Bharatiya Divas. As a result of ICSI initiative, eventually government of India came up with the idea of hosting annually Prabasi Bharatiya Divas, in which I was also invited to be among the delegates of the first Prabasi Bharatiya Divas held in New Delhi in 2003. A warm welcome to our incoming president, Shri Dato Ramesh Kodammal, my good friend from Phnom Penh, whom has warmly welcomed me, and Dr. Gulshan Sharma, Shri Sandeep Majumdar, and new friend, Shri KP Singh, Vietnam, Shri Chirukanti Kiran, Phnom Penh. The subject today is very much from my passion, from my heart, my over 30 years of experience. I'm all in one into into real estate, as an agent, as an investor, as a developer, as a trainer with over 30 years of experience. Real estate is the only industry that is called real. the only asset that is real, the only and only real estate. Welcome to webinar on real estate. Now, let me continue with my opening remarks to give some introduction of Thailand. Of course, today highlight is about Vietnam, Cambodia, but let me give a brief introduction of Thailand. Let me go back to, not too long, but let me go back to the time of Asian crisis. Thailand has been attracting foreign investment, including real estate, much longer, but let me go back just to the time of ASEAN crisis, when Thailand baht got weakened from US dollar 25, went up to $1 US 56. So Thailand became very attractive for foreign investment to come in as a tourist to invest in real estate, because everything got cheaper by less than half. That was the time the West came in. That was the time the European came in big number. The US, the Australian came in big number. There was a joke at that point of time, few years after the Asian crisis, that for Thai to go to Phuket, for the Thai to go to Samui, perhaps we have to ask for a visa, because Phuket and Samui was becoming a Western country with so much influx of interest to buy property and to relocate themselves from the West to Samui and Phuket. And then came the Russian wave, following after many years after the Western wave to come to invest in Thailand property, came the Russian wave. In winter in Russia, it can be as minus up to 10, 20, 30, 40. So to come to Thailand and to be able to remove most of their clothes, to walk almost naked on Pattaya beach, it's like a heaven for the Russian. So they start coming in as a tourist. Eventually, with one visit, second visit, third visit, they've fallen in love with Thailand. They start buying property. That's what the second wave of Thailand property investment from foreign countries. Then the third wave was a Chinese wave, which of course countries all over the world experience this Chinese wave. Of all the wave that happened from foreign interest in investment in Thailand, Chinese wave was perhaps the biggest. The biggest impact. The Chinese come in, they don't buy unit by unit, they buy the whole floor, condominium apartment, they buy the whole building, condominium apartment. I think it's the same phenomena in Phnom Penh. I was in Phnom Penh many times, and most of the condominium development in Phnom Penh is by Chinese investors and Chinese buyers. Chinese come in to invest in Phnom Penh condominium for sale, and for sale to Chinese buyers. Now, what I personally believe, India is the next wave. India is the next wave for Thailand. India is the next superpower. India is now you look at every wave that come over to Thailand to invest. It all started from tourism. The West came in, it started from tourism. The Russian came in, it started from tourism. The Chinese came in, it started from tourism. With one visit, second visit, third visit, a person falling in love with the country. The emotional attachment start. So eventually those tourists start looking to invest in property. Now Thailand is the #1 destination outside India for Indian tourists. So I believe the next wave is India. Will be coming. India businessman already investing in Thailand, but I do not call it a wave now, because the Indian businessman coming to Thailand now in small number. You see Indian buying property in Bangkok, in Phuket, in Pattaya. It's already happening. I call it a wave only when it's in big number, like what we see in Russian wave and the Chinese wave. I believe few years from now we will see the Indian wave, and so real estate is the only industry that is called real, the only asset that is real. Welcome to webinar ICSI on real estate. สวัสดีครับ
Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Majumdarji, I would request you to now take on, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan, Gulshan ji, and thank you, Professor Narula ji. Well, today I have been planning this real estate talk on the webinar for a very long time because I had in mind that Professor Narula ji, ICI President, is into real estate, and we have Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji. Normally, every subject that we talk, he is well prepared. But yesterday I was pleasantly surprised when he called me up and he said that, Sandeep, I need 15 minutes for this topic, which is very close to my heart. So I knew that we have Professor Narula ji, who is a real estate tycoon for last 50 to 30 years. We have Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji, who insisted. And I know when he says this, I'm waiting to hear all that he has in store to tell us. And we also have Mr. Kiran and Mr. KP Singh ji, who are into real estate. So today's topic definitely will be very interesting and exciting. Coming to what you said, Professor Narula ji, yes, I'm sure, I think everybody will accept that a real business, which you said, in real is real estate, yes, and the asset also, which you said, is quite meaningful. And yes, the incoming investments from India in real estate in Thailand, as you said, is presently low, but you foresee that in the coming years it will improve, and that is where probably we will coordinate with. I will request Mr. Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji also to probably arrange few in coming years, few real estate exhibitions or seminars, so that more people in the real estate from India can come in. Now, since we have very distinguished speakers today, I have decided to limit my talk. I normally speak on the subject bit. First, this is not my subject, and we have so important speakers. So I would like request Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji from Malaysia to please give his remarks. Over to you, Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji.
Thank you, Sandeep ji, for the wonderful introduction. My dear Gulshan ji, thank you once again. 358 webinars is quite a bit. To our President, Narula ji from Bangkok, wonderful being a real estate man. I can understand your feeling and love for real estate. When you use the 4-letter word real, it really means that there is power in this sector, which we consider it real. And just to share my experience, I've been an advisor 30 years ago to a valuation company and also a real estate company whom I was managing. So I too have got a little bit of love and influence in this sector. And I always felt that real estate is something which every businessman must understand. Because when you use the word real, I always say that in every business and in every investment, we have 4 structures. And one of the structure of investment in every business a person has is in real estate. And this structure actually gives the kick to every businessman, supporting him to move forward. That's why when you see a lot of businessmen, when they are buying real estate, whether it's their first house, their first shop, their first factory, it becomes an additional security for them to move forward. If you believe that in the 60s, whenever the bankers used to lend funds to people, they used to lend on character lending. The funding used to be on a person's character. They used to get the report from friends to see how is this person before they lent money. Then the structure changed to balance sheet lending. So the bankers wanted to see how were the companies doing, how was their balance sheet before they lent the money. And later in the 90s and 2000, the bankers wanted to be more secure. So they wanted to have security lending. They wanted to have collateral. So for every businessman to take a step forward in his life, if he had an asset, it would have been an advantage for him as a security for further funding to improve his business. So you see a lot of people, a lot of businessmen started buying real estate and started moving forward. Without these securities, the bankers could not fund them as much as they would like to, because the banking procedure was that, have you got something which you could give us that we could fund you more? Even the person's business was good, the bankers were looking for some assurance and security, and together with the company bosses for their guarantees. So real estate has become an important part, an important subject in everyone's life for growth. When you are a starter in your life, you are trying to look for a home. That is your first vision. You want to buy a home. You feel secure that your family has got a shelter. So many professionals, when they work, whether overseas, whether in India, whether in the ASEAN countries, they feel that the age of 25, 26, 27, 28, when they can afford to buy a property, they like to buy it. And banks have been very liberal in financing real estate because they know it's a secured investment. If anything happens, they have got that security. So developers took advantage of this and developers started building more. So if you see the structure of real estate, it moved on from housing, it went to shops, it went to factories, and real estate has also got another area where we call agricultural land. Every country within ASEAN has got a different structure. Like I believe in Cambodia, in Vietnam, in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken, the lands are, most of it are lease lands. You have got a 50-year lease, you've got a 30-year lease, you've got a 60-year lease. In Malaysia too, we have a 99-year lease. In Singapore, they have a lease for 999 years. In Malaysia, you also have freehold lands. So the value of the land depreciates when the lease drops. But real estate is the only investment where you have capital appreciation and also a yield on your property. If you buy a shop lot for investment, you have a capital appreciation in 5 years, 10 years to come. And at the same time, while you are paying your installment, you have got a yield coming where you can afford to pay the installment. So real estate is definitely a good investment compared to the other three investments. The other three investments are investments in your own business, where you pump in money to see whether your business grows. In the equity market, there's a risk of appreciation and depreciation and loss on prices. Then many people invest in commodities like gold, where there are no returns. So all these investments actually are investment, but real estate investment is one investment which can appreciate in time to come, and you will have a yield. And the sustaining power is always very important, and you must be calculative. I'm sure when Professor Narula was speaking about Thailand, many people made money in real estate in Thailand. Many of our close friends built apartment blocks and sold it. But when there was a crisis, many also lost money. So real estate is something which you must know how to manage it. If you are playing the game in a big way, you must know, you must have the sustaining power. But if you are just going into real estate for the sake of managing your funds and finance which you have, I think it's a very good investment. You won't go wrong. Because this is only one thing which does not grow. Land does not grow. Only you reclaim land, like in Singapore. So land is limited. And always whenever you're talking of real estate, everyone will tell you only one thing: location, location, and location. So when you buy a real estate, you buy a property, the location is more important than anything else. So if you have got the right location at the right place and you buy it at the right time, you are a winner. Many people focus on location, location, and location. And I am a strong believer that there are certain spots which people buy and you are going to have an advantage. Well, coming back to it, today, looking in the COVID time, everyone will be very puzzled, because prices are down, financing is a little difficult, but still people are there to see whether they can get the best buy. Many people still want a best buy. And this best buy is always a silver lining where it does not come often. A property which you have been looking for for might be 10, 15 years, it just falls in your lap because the owner wants to sell it. So I think at this kind of times too, we must look for opportunities. And that's my strong belief that opportunities knock your door when you are ready. So if in the COVID time, any of us are getting an opportunity to invest in property, it's a good time. It's not a bad time. After speaking on all this, I would like to come to something else now, because this platform is on ASEAN. And today, what are we looking at ASEAN as in the property sector, which is very important to us today? I personally feel that the expected increase in free trade among the participating countries, which we have just concluded, the RCEP, gives a significant impact on ASEAN for property investment. You see, we can understand that having 15 countries who have tied a free trade agreement, the RCEP, which is the largest free trade agreement in the world, coming into ASEAN. The Japanese are already in ASEAN. The Koreans are already in ASEAN. The ASEAN members, among their states, they want to shift portfolio into ASEAN countries. You have China there in ASEAN. So everyone wants to build a trading bloc. So what happens when everyone thinks of building a trading bloc? You will have investors coming in. When you have investors coming in, what are they going to do? They're going to set up factories. They're going to go into businesses. They're not just going to come down and sit down here. So you will see that the demand for choice real estate, like industrial areas, industrial lots, would definitely appreciate. Then you will see that the expatriates, if they move, when their factories come in, they'll be looking for housing. The game changer will take place. And as we move on, we will also see that employment will be increased. So with the employment being increased, housing also would increase. So all this is going to be a game changer while we are just moving towards RCEP. And RCEP is here to stay for a long time, because RCEP will be finally concluded in 20 years from now with all the non-tariff measures and non-tariff barriers removing. You also have Australia. You also have New Zealand. What Professor Paul said was interesting. When you have such things, when you have investors coming in, when you have their families coming in, when you have their friends coming in, the market will be exposed more. When people come and see that within the ASEAN region, like Thailand is a wonderful place for tourism, Indonesia is a wonderful place of growth, Malaysia is an open place for investment, Singapore is a peak place for investment. So I think there is some silver lining which we all should not miss out. We should watch it, we should look at it, and we should move forward to see that how we can benefit from it. Real estate is something you pick it at the right time, and the place must be right, and you move on. I think this is my views, and I personally feel that all those who are in real estate on this platform will understand my views and see that where I'm coming from. Real estate has definitely taken a dip many a times. But if you go to the past dips, it has always shot back to different levels. It has never said that it's gone, gone, gone. It has always said gone and it's up again. So I'm sure that today, in today's norm, in today's world, not only in ASEAN, also in India, where property prices are down, they will merge up again to a different level. So let's look at it positively. Let's think that we all together will move forward in this crisis. And real estate is a game changer in the life of many people. Many people have been what they are today, not because of what they are. It is just because of the right decision to invest in real estate at the right time, and property is appreciating, and they have come out to a different level. So many of the businessmen for 50 years would not have made money. But in real estate, within 5 years, they would have made so much of money, and their business have grown again. So with that, thank you very much, Sandeep. These are my thoughts, and I hope that, we could share more thoughts because we have wonderful speakers. Because I too would like to hear them so that I can improve myself where real estate is concerned. Because I too am an investor and I too work on this platform. So that was the reason I told you that I too would like to share my experience. Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Dato Ramesh. Yeah, Dr. Gulshan wants to say something.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just wish to inform because I'm getting a couple of queries on the YouTube. I wish to inform everybody that our focus is on education. Our chamber is focusing on making education relevant. And what we are looking forward to in this deliberation and discussion today is that in real estate, when we talk about how the children can have their own startup, how they can get into entrepreneurship, how they can join engineering courses which are related to basically real estate, what are the bachelor's or the master degree or training program, or for that matter, even the skill training programs which are available. Our ultimate vision revolves around that only. The only thing is we are bringing the different themes and we are bringing the different stratas because education has got a very big canvas. And when we are talking about the real estate, we are talking about all kind of engineering. Let's take an example. If a construction is taking place, you require all kind of an inputs over there. So all my brothers and sisters, those are posting the comments to me on the YouTube. I wish to reassure you, we are not drifting away from the main subject. Our focus is still on education, skills, competencies, training, everything related to that. But like you have a medical education, like you have got engineering education. So real estate, we are linking up basically with the education ecosystem in totality. Sandeep Majumdarji.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Gulshan. So yes, Dato Ramesh Kodammal, excellent views and the sequence of the business which you narrated, from character lending to balance sheet lending to collateral lending. This is definitely very meaningful. I'm sure the speakers of the real estate definitely will appreciate and vouch for that. And yes, as you said, in real estate, there are dips and there are balloons up also time when it jacks up by 10 times, 20 times. So the right time of investment is the key to success in real estate investment. With this, I will now invite, since I'm in Malaysia with Dato Ramesh Kodammal, so on the way to Cambodia, I think Vietnam comes in between. So, and Kiran, with your permission, because we are both in Cambodia, so we are hosts in a way. So I'll invite Mr. KP Singh ji from Vietnam as the next speaker. Mr. KP Singh ji has been, Mr. KP Singh, yeah, that's right. So over to you, Mr. KP Singh.
Hi, good afternoon from Vietnam, first of all. And I was like, of course, we'll talk about real estate in Vietnam, what is the current scenario and how we are coping with the COVID situation. But as Dr. Sharma has just told that how young people in India or all over the world can join the real estate. So I can just give you my background. I'm an engineer. I qualified bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and then I joined real estate. In India, I used to work for BRC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. I commissioned 235 megawatts, 2 nuclear plants in Kakrapar, near Surat. Then I was working in Singapore, also practicing engineering only as a project manager. And coming to Vietnam, I came as so engineers has a big role to play in construction time and the post-construction. If they are managing the building, I think 70 to 80% of the
KP Singh ji, you are breaking
property management.
Sir, your bandwidth is very low. Your bandwidth is very low, KP Singh ji. If you close your camera, then your voice will come clear to us. Because your bandwidth is very low, sir, there.
Also, your voice is little low. Can you speak a little bit louder?
KP Singh ji, voice can come better if he closes his camera. If he closes his camera, we will be able to get his, now you will get the better bandwidth and better signal. Please
Okay,
go ahead.
So
Yes.
I will I will not repeat what I told, but
Yes, yes.
engineers has a big role to play in everywhere in property.
Yes.
During construction and post construction, while managing the property, you need several MEP engineers, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, air conditioning, so almost every segment of property, whether it's a residential, commercial, or industrial property, engineers are always needed. And our youngsters, those who have qualified engineering degree, can always join during the construction time as a project manager or post construction. So, and I will share my screen. I have a short presentation about real estate in Vietnam. Just give me 1 second. So hope you can see these slides.
Yes, sir. We can see, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Actually, it's not, the slides are not, okay.
No, no, it's coming. It is coming. It is coming.
Okay. Okay. So now you can see that why the Vietnam is getting popular. Recently, Vietnam has a very long coastal line, 3,400 kilometers of coastal line. And this is not only good for the real estate, also the renewable energy is a big sector in Vietnam. A lot of solar power and the wind power is coming in Vietnam, and the government is giving a lot of incentive in terms of fit-in tariffs. Strategically, Vietnam fit into the policy of China plus one policy. And recently, with the trade war between China and US, Vietnam is benefited the most. I was told that 65% of the people, those who relocated their business from China, whether it's a Japanese or Korean, they came to Vietnam to establish their factories. So, and this is very apparent also because the industrial property growth is like 3 to 4 times. The land price of the industrial land has increased over the last 2 to 3 years. The demographics also, as you can see on the screen, the population is close to 97 million people, and 50% are under the age of 30. So there is ample labor available. The literacy rate is over 90%. And employment force forecast to grow by 1 million per year, so which is a very lucrative market for the investors. Coming to the urbanization rate, as you can see, the 39% people are living in an urban area, and it is growing very fast, in the range of 3.4 to 4% per annum. End of 2019, because right now it's a COVID time, so every country is GDP is in negative, but fortunately Vietnam still has a very positive GDP in the range of 2 to 3% positive side. But end of 2019, Vietnam was growing with 7% GDP. Retail sales was nearly 163 billion. FDI also, the Vietnam is attracting around 38 billion. CPI is very manageable, 2.8%. Mortgage rate in Vietnam is around 11% on Vietnam dong. If you look for the US dollar, it can be in the range of around 4 to 5%. International arrival is over 18 million in Vietnam. So why the Vietnam is growing so fast and doing so well and with a positive GDP even in the difficult time? So as you can see on the screen, these are the driving factor. The Vietnamese government is privatizing their state-owned companies. They have a very good relation with the international trade, as like recently Dato Ramesh was telling about signing so many treaties as a part of the ASEAN. This is attracting a good and a lot of business from overseas. We'll talk more on this one later. The banking reforms are coming. The government of Vietnam is open for investment into their local banks up to 35% right now, but it's growing it's growing, and hopefully it will achieve more than 50% very soon. In terms of governance, the government is very open. Like before passing the law, they make a draft and they keep it open for corporate people to review it and give the comments. Whether the government will follow all your comments or not, it is a different issue, but they at least they do a formality. Then the purchasing power of Vietnamese is growing very high. Like as you can see, the per capita income of Vietnam is crossed over $3,000, which is a very good, even compared to India is higher. Rising income in the urban areas, large foreign remittance, like a lot of Vietnamese are working in overseas in US, Europe, Korea, Japan, and they send a lot of money, and 70 to 80% of those remittance goes to the real estate market. So this is just another kind of a factor why the Vietnam is doing so well. Vietnam has recently, on 15th of November this month, they have signed the RCEP with the 15 countries, including the 10 ASEAN countries, Australia, China, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, which is considered as a 29% of the global GDP. And this will help Vietnam to grow their GDP by 2 to 3%. So this is a very good opportunity for Vietnam to work together with partners. And Vietnam is coming as a manufacturing hub, which will benefit them the most in this kind of a very lucrative, comprehensive economic partnership. In the past, Vietnam has signed so many other global treaties with different countries, including the CPTPP with the 11 countries, Trans-Pacific Partnership, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, and so on. Now coming to the real, that how a foreign investor coming to Vietnam can invest into Vietnam. In what form of, sorry. So the joint venture enterprise, like with the foreign investor can invest into Vietnam in form of joint venture. They can, it's open. You can go for 70-30, 80-20 joint venture, or even you can go for the 100% foreign owned capital. There is another form, is called business cooperation contract, which is popular among some of the high risk taking countries like Chinese and Japanese or Korean. They move very fast. Like in this one, what will happen, the land will be owned by a local company, but the building on the land or the property on the land can be invested by a foreign investor. But this has a loose legal protection, so it is not preferred way of investing into Vietnam. Most popular are joint venture and 100% foreign owned capital. Then we also have a joint stock the companies. This is a very popular also. Limited liabilities companies, wholly foreign owned companies. And since 2015, the foreigners are allowed to own apartments. Like as I heard from Professor Narula, that many Asian countries, the lands are like in the lease form. So Vietnam also has a, for foreigners especially, they go for 50 years of lease, but with the recent law, it's called 50 plus 50 years renewable. It's a perpetual lease. So if I'm a foreigner, I'm buying an apartment, my first term will be 50 years, but it will be renewed for another 50 years. But the foreigners are feeling very safe. They know that the Vietnamese government will not take your apartment away. Like 100 years is a long time. And this will be more like a freehold property for you in the future. I will not go into detail of this one. This is just showing that how the real estate demands are coming into more, offering more opportunity for foreign investors coming to Vietnam. Now the current situation, the popular sectors are office sector, where the most foreign investors are investing their money. As you can see that in Vietnam, there are major two markets, Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. The south side is Ho Chi Minh City with a population of close to 8 to 9 million, whereas Hanoi has a population of around 6 to 7 million. These are the two major markets. And Ho Chi Minh City is growing very fast, and they have around 2.2 million square meter space, which is still very less compared to Thailand market or Hong Kong market or even Singapore market. So it's a high growth area. The average occupancy, as you can see on his screen, is 92%. So it is a very, very good high occupancy, even in the COVID time. And the grade A, the rental rates are around $62, $63 per square meter per month. So, and plus, and the grade B office sector is around $24 per square meter per month. Very, very attractive market for the developers. Average take-up in 2019 was around 27,000 square meter space was absorbed in the market, and new stock in the pipeline is around 355,000 square meter by 2022. So a lot of construction is going on. Hanoi, quite similar, around 1.9 million square meter space available. Average occupancy is around 90%. And the average rental in the entire market is around $21 per square meter per month. New stock by 2022 is around 180,000 square meter space in the pipeline. Now the retail sector, also a very good sector for Vietnamese, as you know, the millennials or the young people, they love shopping, and this is driving the growth in Vietnam. In Ho Chi Minh City, the supply is around 1.5 million square meter, which is still very, very less compared to our neighboring Bangkok. Average occupancy is around 94%, very, very good occupancy, as you can see. The average rental rate is around $49 per square meter per month. New additions which are under construction are around 210,000 square meter, expected by 2022. Hanoi has similar supply, 1.6 million square meter. Occupancy is very good, to around 92 million. And the new addition which is coming into pipeline is around 120,000 square meter, more space coming by 2022. Residential sector, this is the hottest sector in Vietnam. Recently, from 2019 and this year was a kind of a difficult year for the developers because the market was very slow. This year is the election year for the communist government. So by nature, the approval for the projects were very, very slow. So this is one of the reasons that market supply was very less, where demand was nearly same. So that has driven the market very high. I can just give you an example. All the projects, especially in Ho Chi Minh City, most good location projects, when they are launching it, they are launching in form of lottery. Like if a project is launching with nearly 500 units, they will get a application of nearly 2,000, 3,000 applications to buy 500 units. So most developer will go for a lottery system. So this is happening now also during the COVID time. So as you can see that in Ho Chi Minh City, accumulated supply is around 286,000 units. Approximately 9,500 units are launched till now in the market. And almost, you can see the absorption rate is 72%, which is very, very good compared to the market, compared to the regional market. New supply around 154,000 units are expected by 2023. Similar situation in Hanoi. Accumulated supply is around 298,000 units. Approximately 26,800 units are available in the primary market right now. Absorption rate is less in Hanoi, around 20%. New supply is around 126 units are expected by 2023. Hotel market. This is the market which is badly affected because of the COVID. As you can see, compared to the last year around 17 million tourists came into Ho Chi Minh City. Out of 17 million, around 5.6 million are foreign tourists. So this drives the market, the hospitality market. Around supply side, 3 to 5 star hotels are around 15,900 rooms, which is very, very low if you compare it with Bangkok or Singapore or even KL market. Because being a real estate person, I was heading country director of Colliers International, and after that I was the country director for DTZ International. So I used to travel all over the region, including the Bangkok. I used to travel KL also very often, Singapore, Hong Kong market, Seoul market, and Taipei market. So compared to that one, this is very, very less. Average occupancy right now is around 12%. This shows this sector is the badly affected due to the COVID. Average occupancy in the 2019 was around 68%, and now it is down to 12%. The you can say ARR also is in compared to 2019, it is still less, $60 per room. The new edition which are under construction is around 3,500 rooms coming by 2023. Hanoi has a similar 29 million tourists. Out of that, 7.2 million tourists are foreign tourists in 2019. Total supply in the market for 3 to 5 star is around 9,500 rooms, which is again very less. Average occupancy is 21%. ARR is 85 per rooms per night, and right now, in compared to 2019, is still less. But this sector in Hanoi, a lot of Chinese are coming now, and they are spending 14 days in quarantine. So you can see the occupancy is increasing, but not a rosy picture. New addition of around 2,800 rooms expected by 2023. As I was telling, it's a difficult time right now, but the opportunities are always in the difficult time. And I hope, as you can see, that Vietnam is attracting a lot of ASEAN countries. Right now, when I came here in 94, 95, the major investors were from Singapore and Malaysia. So almost every big developer from Singapore, whether it's a Capital Land, All Green, S&Das, they are here. And similarly, from all the big developers from KL, whether it's a Berjaya, Gamuda Land, IJM, all are here in Vietnam. And now the trend is that most the real estate sector is active because of Korean and Japanese investors. They are the top FDI investors in Vietnam. But coming to the energy sector, the wind and the solar power, a lot of investors coming from China, even though lots of restrictions are there, but these people know how to drive the market. So this is all from me, but if you have any questions about Vietnam, I'm always there. Thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. KP Singh. I think a lot of takeaways from there. People who are interested to come in and invest, the viewers all over the globe who are watching this event, I think they've got a very clear picture of Vietnam from Mr. KP Singh. Couple of good things which are same to Cambodia is that you can have 100% investment. As foreigner, you don't have to take partners, which is very good. Same what we have. And what you said is 70 to 80% of the remittance coming from overseas Vietnam is invested into real estate, which is quite an interesting point to note. Thank you, Mr. KP Singh. I truly appreciate your presentation and accepting our invitation of being a speaker. I move on now to home ground. My dear friend, Mr. Kiran, in his profile, I saw that it was mentioned, a very hardworking, young, dynamic person, which I vouch for it, because I remember 6, 7 years back when he was in Malaysia, and he came into Cambodia on a weekend just to have a look how the country is. And that weekend has prolonged to 6 years of work, dedication, and the milestones that he has set forward for every Indians to be proud of. He is doing the low-cost housings. He's probably the only Indian who holds the Oknia title, what you have in Dato and Thailand.Sri and all in Malaysia. He is, I would say, among Indians, I give him this credibility that more people like younger people will get facilitated by what Mr. Kiran is doing. And I have been promoting him. I have been talking about him whenever I go to India for my webinars and all, that more and more people should come to Cambodia and see how he has done, learn, and then probably partner with him in the real estate business. So now over to you, Mr. Kiran, for your presentation. And I waited actually 4 or 5 weeks to get him on call because I know he has a couple of new projects going on. I said, if I will do the real estate, I have to do with him, and he has been kind enough to accept. Over to you, Mr. Kiran.
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep Ji, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. And as Dr. Gulshan Sharma Ji has explained, this is a little bit of a tough thing to connect the education in relevant to the real estate. When I heard the topic, it is by itself a little bit of connectivity. But I would like to thank Professor Narula Ji and Dato Kodammal Ji and Mr. K.P. Singh Ji as well for joining in this particular webinar. Well, just to introduce about myself, I'm Kiran Reddy, and I hail from south of India, Hyderabad, in the state of Telangana. And I did my MBA from London, where I have completed my MBA, as well as I was working there as a real estate agent during 2003 to 2005. And after that, I have joined my parental business back in India, which is into infrastructure development. Like we do the construction of roads, national highways, and minings and similar infrastructure projects. From there, I moved to Malaysia for in search of some lands to do my plantation of tissue culture teak plant in Malaysia. But unfortunately, I couldn't get a decent property over there for whatsoever may be the reasons. And accidentally, I visited Cambodia on a weekend, and it's really surprising that once I opened the window out of the hotel room where I was staying during those weekend, I saw about like 100 to 150 tower cranes working actively day and night in the city of Phnom Penh in Cambodia. This immediately triggered in my mind what is going on here, because until then I was not much aware of what really is happening in Cambodia. Then I put my thoughts together, I did my study, I did my research, and finally I took a decision to move to Cambodia immediately from Malaysia, because this is the field which I was coming from, and this is the field which I was more fascinated about. Since 2015, I have seen steady increase in the properties, and luckily today I can myself say that I'm to a certain extent, to a greater extent, I'm successful in what I'm doing here, proudly. And Cambodia, as you all know, like due to its strategic location and all the natural resources are available, labor is really not so expensive. It is still under reasonable pricing. Looking at these situations, I thought Cambodian real estate is going to be like more effective, more profitable, and it is going to give a good returns. From 2011 until 2019, I think there's a steady increase of up to 8 to 10% per annum on the property prices, and it was a promising returns. And during this time, most of the investors came from China, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, and Singapore, Malaysia, and Australian investments as well into Cambodia. As Mr. Sandeep Ji was telling, like we are one of the Indian companies which are settled in Cambodia in the field of real estate. And since then, I have been trying to pull some more Indians who are big players to get into Cambodia and to enter into the real estate sector. And there were some serious visitors who really planned to visit Cambodia and to study the project, but after going back, they are tied up with their own schedules, with their own projects where they wanted to take their decision at a later stage. Coming to Cambodia, even after this COVID time in this year 2020, I would say the prices are little stagnant. Prices are little reduced by about 8 to 10% when compared to the previous year. But we haven't seen any chaos, or we haven't seen any forced sales in this year 2020. And I would say there are three main reasons for this thing, because the first reason I would say is most of the developers come here with a strong capital, and they have the withholding capacity. Most big players are in the field of this real estate. So this COVID or this pandemic has not affected many big players and many real estate companies in Cambodia. And the second reason I would say is in Cambodia, most of the people, most of the customers, they buy the properties with their own money and not depending on the banks. Even though the banks are coming forward to lend up to 80%, 90% with an average interest rate of about 9.5 to 10% per annum. But still many customers in Cambodia, especially the local Cambodians, they would prefer to buy with their own money rather than depending on the banks. But it is slowly changing because now many people are investing in multiple properties. So the trend is changing. They're approaching the banks. Banks are coming forward to lend them. So it is like vice versa, helping each other. And the third important thing, which I would say for the stability in the pricing and the growth sector as it is in the field of real estate in Cambodia is because of the government. The government in Cambodia has done excellently well, a very good job in controlling the pandemic and also creating the stability, the feeling of stability among all the investors and also among all the foreigners. So these three main reasons I would say has added, and they are the main driving forces for the people to still believe in the sector of real estate. Presently, there is a little bit of delay. There is a little bit of wait and watch mode, but I am sure that it will bounce back. And there are a few areas in Cambodia like Sihanoukville, other than in Phnom Penh. There are a few provinces like Sihanoukville, Kampot, Khai, Kok Khong, and Siem Reap. These are other places which are coming up lately. And now, during this pandemic, most of the sales are being focused in the local Cambodian sales instead of really waiting for the foreigners to arrive to visit the properties and to see. So there is a domestic demand. The domestic demand has increased. And this is what most of the developers are also focusing on, because nobody knows or nobody is aware when the international flights are going to be like freely open like before, and whether we really need to wait for the foreigners. But until then, the local domestic demand is increasing, and even the local people are taking this as an opportunity that even they are aware that once the pandemic problem is solved, the prices will be again increased slowly and gradually, if not like a skyrocket like before. So this is brief information I would like to say about the present real estate prospects in Cambodia. And as Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji explained, I don't want to take much time and deviating from the field of education sector in connecting to real estate. And thanks for giving me this opportunity, Mr. Sandeep ji.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran. Well, but today's one was already planned, so that we didn't have to correlate to education in this one. Probably what Dr. Gulshan ji was saying, that from the coming series, we will do that. So no issue. The other thing is, yeah, I mean, I understand from Dr. Gulshan, there have been some questions from the viewers. We can take that. If not, then we definitely, if there are any questions which Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji wants to take, or Professor Narula ji. And Kiran, if we had done these webinars before, when you were in Malaysia, we will know you would have met Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji, and probably you would have started something there. But that wouldn't have been good for me, else you would not have come to Cambodia, I guess. So, so there is an opportunity still there for you, for me.
It is never
you are most welcome, Kiran. You can always have a second try. You know?
That's what I was trying to tell. Now I wish you would have met Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji or Professor Narula, because both are from the real estate. They would have taken
Exactly.
But honestly speaking, Kiran, I'm very happy and proud of you, because whenever any of our countrymen from India, from ASEAN does well, we actually feel proud about it, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
If you need anything from our side, we are always here to help you. Because I also co-chair the ASEAN-India Business Council. There are a lot of links within the whole system. So if there's anything, we are always there to help. No problem.
Thank you so much, Dato Ramesh ji. Thank you.
Now, Kiranji, there are 5-6 queries on WhatsApp. They are asking me, you mentioned Reddy, right? You mentioned Churukanti Kiran Reddy.
Yes.
So people have asked me kindly inquire which Reddys. Are they the one those have built up airport? Are they the one those have built up Taj Hotel in Chandigarh? Or are they the one those have built up Reddy brothers? Which family of Reddys? Could you kindly just help them? Because Hyderabad, they have linked.
Gulshan ji, that was a nice question. Well, basically, Reddy is a very big community from south of India, and many business people hail from this community, and there are many success stories from this community as well. I don't belong to either construction of airport or the Taj Hotel or another, just like the guest has asked. But I'm Kiran Reddy, and I'm never into any politics or anything, even in South India. I'm just a normal person, and we are only based in South India, and we were into the field of infrastructure for more than 20 years. Yeah,
they are also normal. Don't worry, everybody is normal.
I think what Kiran said, he's Kiran ready. You know, he's always ready for anything. I think that's good.
Ready for everything. Yes.
Wonderful.
Ready.
Yes.
But
ready for everything. Yes, that's great.
Kiran's family, his father has been in this infrastructure business for a very long time, as he said, into road. They're doing a lot of projects in their state. I'm sure their company would be well known in the state that they are in.
Good.
So, any other questions, Dr. Gulshan ji?
No. My only request is that people are very curious about Vietnam. And there are 3 people those have asked me the number of the tourists those are visiting Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi. The figures which you have given is of the international tourists at both the cities. That means somewhere around 10 million people are foreigners those are visiting Vietnam at this point of time.
These are the figures at the end of 2019, not now. COVID time, it is not allowed. But 2019, the Vietnam tourism was really booming. You know, even like 2019, we have surprisingly we have some destination wedding from India. You know, so
in Vietnam.
In Vietnam, it was a very surprisingly in the central of Vietnam, in the city of Da Nang and Hue.
In Thailand, I had heard, and particularly in Malaysia, that Phuket Island and one more island I had heard over there. But Vietnam, people going for wedding, that's a great news.
Thailand and especially the Bali was a kind of a known location for destination wedding. But you know, from last 2-3 years, Vietnam is coming into the radar. So this was a very good welcome surprise to us also. Okay.
Majumdar sir, one small request I would like to make to you, because today's event which we have held, it was wonderful. My request is, because when we talk about real estate, it has got about 57 different ingredients. Civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, IT engineering, electronic. There's just so much of gadgets. And the new places which are coming up with the infrastructure, they require all intact, like a construction coming up for, let's take it, 100 apartments. They would like to have their own sports. They would like to have their own swimming pool. They would like to have. So maybe one of the program which we can take on, basically related to skills, related to competencies, basic to, the youth empowerment, and something related to that will gel with our subject quite a bit. Because now, after deliberations and after we have clarified, people have understood and have started getting things over here very well, because they say that 57 areas are associated. Because when we are talking about skill development and education, even the plumber or the electrician or the gentleman who has to put AC plant, the person who has to do some other tasks, all these skills are required, which are again linked directly with the education. So thereby, maybe I would make a very humble request that this is a very nice kind of a packaging which we have done. But if we can bring somewhere a component and input from next time, I will design with you in advance. We will work out in advance so that we bring directly. Now people have understood by the time the program has got over and KP Singh ji has made a presentation and he has brought a tourism angle, hospitality angle and other angles. So people have understood in a depth now what exactly it is. Otherwise what happens is the president enjoys in a Thailand very well. There is no problem. He has not to reply to anybody. But it is the poor sucker director general who has to reply to everybody and who has to satisfy everybody. Because I have got people on top also, I've got people this side also. So I'm sandwiched in between and I have to take on everybody. And I just fold my hands before everybody. We are focusing still on human resources. That is the backbone of all developments, whatsoever is taking place. And that's what I have been told, that during this pandemic, focus on education, skills, competencies, human development, what all can be done. And one more study we will bring interesting next week when we have a program, that how much money is being spent world over on arms and armaments. If there is no fear of war and nobody tries to disturb anybody else, then the things can be much, much better, and that money can be utilized for some other constructive, productive, innovative, creative, logical way for the human development. Otherwise, how much is the amount world over? And some of the people are surviving and growing only to have more and more wars, more and more war material, and more kind of factories and areas being developed which are related to that, which is uncalled for. I think somebody posted, so I thought I should share with everybody, because people keep sending me so many inputs. So I thought it is good to share with everybody. So wonderful deliberation, wonderful discussions. And Sandeep ji, if you would like to say something, and before we further finally conclude.
No, absolutely well taken, your point. And I think the Director General position that you are in is like a CEO of a company. It is a CEO of a company.
I fold my hands to everybody, including to you, you.
No, hear me out. So CEO is an executive, and executives like us and you, we know how to manage the two M's. One
Yes.
is management, and the one are managers. And we all through our career, we have been all sandwiched between the management and the managers. So I think you know very well how to cope up with the situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, well taken, your point. And it has been lovely. I mean, it's, all stalwarts of the industry, Professor Narula being in the real estate, Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji, as he said, he is already chairing many sectors, including real estate. Mr. KP Singh with his 30 years of experience in real estate in entire Asia, and Kiran from our Cambodia. I didn't know, when did you change your initials? Churu Kanti, before it was Kiran Reddy. So does that come along with the Okneya title, or you had to do it otherwise? You are on mute. You have to unmute. No, Kiran, you have to unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my surname from the beginning, but most of the people, they find it difficult to pronounce. So I just keep it simple, Kiran Reddy.
Okay, so yeah, everybody knows you by Kiran. Anyway, so it has been wonderful.
Thank you.
And one good thing which I saw in Kiran's presentation, that it has not been affected. There has been no distress sell or no forced sell. And it is very interesting to see that. I think Cambodia and Vietnam both are doing well even post-COVID. So that is good. So I thank you, all of you, once again. And Dr. Gulshan ji, hats off to you with your continuous support. And we look forward to the new subject in the coming weeks. So thank you all, and a very good evening to all of you.
My President sir, I would request you kindly take on some I won't call it a burden, but kindly take on something from me to discuss with the governing body and with all these people who posted to me that what exactly, by the time they understand a subject And by the time they come, because now they have understood that engineering is the integral part of the entire real estate. And there is so much of openings when we are talking about, because somebody posted just now to me that the AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, which has got 9,000 engineering colleges with them, at present are talking about 57 different segments when we come to the real estate. Imagine the kind of an opportunities which are available for children, which are available in the real estate. So thereby, President sir, if we can have some kind of youth empowerment, teacher empowerment, right awareness, and whatsoever can come on to when we are talking about real estate, if we can bring in some more components of that kind also into it. And I think it was more focused today. Now somebody wrote to me, I thought that I'll discuss with Madhumdar ji later on, that some component of India also has to be brought into, but I think you balanced it for me. You brought investment from Russia, you brought investment from China, and initially the first phase you brought investment from where?
From the West.
From the West. And then you saved me over there when you told that the next wave of the investment is expected from India. So there you saved me. So I think now this should go on very well, and everybody should be happy and satisfied with the entire program. So thank you very much, everybody. My deep regards and thanks a lot, and look forward to seeing you on next Sunday with yet another area. And I will convey to everybody my deep thanks, my gratitudes. KP Singh ji, it was wonderful. One is Colonel KP Singh and was another KP Singh over there, both from the real estate. And there are so many Reddys, and you told that, look, I'm a lonesome bachelor and I'm Mr. Kiran myself in a very nice, great. And you should meet Dato Ramesh Kodammal ji again. Malaysia awaits you. From Cambodia, you can be linked there as well. And there further, you can move to Professor Narula also. So something you can have in Thailand also. Why not? And then all of us, we should together travel with Majumdar ji to meet KP Singh ji in Vietnam, because that destination is also coming up in a nice